What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes. Welcome to episode number 66 of my Path to Power. We decided to sell on Antonio Di Natale as I just felt like he wasn't fitting the bill, and there were other Serie A strikers out there that I wanted to get, and I went out and I looked for Alexander Pato yesterday, and I threw on a few bids and thought, okay, 19,000, that seems to be more or less what he is going for on open bid prices. Of course, you can get him for less than that, and of course, you'll pay more for a buy now, but we went ahead the next day, and we had to list everything again because nothing seemed to sell on, which is fine, but I went out and saw Pato's prices were down a little bit, and this is just because it's not peak time in Europe, and so the prices should be down, and I made a foolish error. Bought him as a center forward, and as soon as I did that, I realized it and was like, oh my gosh, I have to go out and buy another Pato right now because I'd rather pay just 2,000 coins for a new Pato versus actually going, or oh, I guess it's 20,000 coins for a new Pato, but mine will still sell on for 17,000, which is cheaper than a center forward to striker card, I believe. At least it's been that way in past FIFAs. I didn't bother to go change, but we come up into the next match, and this guy, Zoidberg FC, he's clearly a Bayern Munich supporter, and let me choose my words here, but people play like this frequently in Ultimate Team, or not frequently, but from time to time, you'll come up against someone who plays like this, and they'll needlessly keep possession, thinking that they are gods of the football realm, and that they should be given some sort of possession crown. Now, I'm a fan of keeping possession and frustrating your opponent because that was frustrating for me in the beginning, and he did that for the first 15 minutes of the game. I deemed that I didn't need to show you anymore, but we're going to get free here, 32nd minute, and Gareth Bale scores just a wonderful right-footed strike, beats Manuel Neuer at the near post, which should really never happen from that angle with Gareth Bale's right foot, but whatever, it did, and I'm taking my goal. But back to what I was saying is, in Ultimate Team, needless possession is something that I see quite frequently in FIFA, and they think, hey, you know, I see pro teams do it, and, you know, professionals knock it around kind of like that, and yeah, they've got 45 minutes and a half to do that. When your halves are generally 6 to 8 minutes long, you kind of have to be up and down a little bit more if you want to create the right amount of chances. Just like that right there, and I knew that I was going to be able to counterattack when I saw that he had Batstuber and Dante as his center backs. Now, they're fantastic center backs on head-to-head, but in Ultimate Team, they're a little bit slow, and they can most definitely get caught out, especially with Lamin Alaba bombing up the wings and overlapping the left mid and right mid. It ends up being a 3-on-2 situation at the back a lot of times. Now, obviously, there's something to be said with the possession game that I was talking about earlier. There's something to be said for holding possession in your opponent's final third, but when you hold it in your own final third, or even in the middle third of the pitch, you're essentially accomplishing very little in my mindset. Obviously, he was frustrating me, so he was accomplishing that, but beyond that, I don't really know what his game plan was, because when he got into the final third, he was absolutely clueless, and I just took it away from him every time. I'm going to go ahead and show you the halftime stats. Now, it's 3-0. I only have about 40% possession, but I've managed 5 shots on target and 7 shots in total to his 2 and only 1 on target. And I believe his 1 shot on target was an absolute fluff of a chance anyway. So we managed to just keep on going and keep on pressing, and things like that happened over and over and over again, because he kept trying to call the offsides trap in the second half as well. He called it the first time and it fooled me, and I was kind of upset that he called it, and so I decided to dribble it into his net. But this is one of those games of Ultimate Team where he just caught me on a bad day, where I was just kind of in a nasty mood, I suppose, and I took a special liking, I suppose, to the way he was playing, and decided that I wanted to absolutely pulverize him. On a separate note, Alexander Pato is absolutely amazing. And now some of you guys are going to say, Japes, you're pronouncing it wrong. It's not Pato, it's Patu, or Pato. But in Portuguese, I believe it's actually Patu is the way it's pronounced. So who's right, who's wrong? It's just one of those names that everybody has a slight different variation on how to pronounce. And so this is what he resorted to, and that's the way the rest of the game would end, and that was fine. So 4-0 is the final score. We're going to take our win. Check the match highlights or match details real quick. He managed 1 more shot in the second half, and it was on target, but you can see only 9.9% possession in my final third. And when you have 60% of the game played, that means that another 50% or so was played in between the middle third of the pitch and the final third, or your own final third, which generally is accomplishing nothing. So we're going to do a little bit of club cleanup because we have a few players that are just not helping us out really, and their coins sitting on the bench that I need to do away with and get some coins back so I can buy either more cards, maybe buy a pack, or go ahead and start to try to trade a little bit more, which I haven't really felt the need to do because I've been able to buy most of the players and most of the teams that I've wanted to. But I decided I just wanted them out of my club, so I listed them for 150 coins, which isn't the smartest thing to do, especially with a card like that Marquisio, who we would have definitely been able to sell for a buy now of much higher because we picked him up at a bargain. Decided because the inform cards are great this week, I'll go ahead and I'll buy a pack as well. We get Kevin Gamero as our hot topic player, but everything else is absolutely worthless, and in fact, we didn't even get a gold rare player. I decided to send Flicari to the bench because he looked like he might be a player that I might like to use. I loved him on FIFA 11. I thought he was one of the better cheap players to use on that game. Anyways, guys, we're coming to a close of this episode of Pat to Power. As soon as this gets to about 2,000 likes, I will upload an episode of Career Mode. Thank you all for your support. My name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.